This podcast is produced by the Harwood Productions Podcast Network. To learn more about the network and to find more of our shows, visit us online at www.harwoodpodcast.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Live from Bay 6. I'm Kevin Harris, and I'm here with this month's guest, Kevin Beadles.
Thank you very much, sir.
Now, I thought this was going to be a little confusing because it's Kevin and Kevin, so
yes.
I come up with a perfect solution. So if you'll do
right
this,
here.
there we go. And
Good.
I'll do this. Huh? All right, let's do it. The origins of you.
Darling, there are details you have not heard yet. You weren't taping that, were you?
Kevin, welcome to Live from Bay 6.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
It's a pleasure having you. So, my first question is, where did you grow up?
Glendale, California, right outside Los Angeles.
So, what is Glendale like?
Small bedroom community, best known for its cemetery, serial killers, and Walt Disney.
Oh, yes. That is a good cemetery, I must say.
It is. Michael Jackson's buried there.
There you go. So, when you were growing up, when did music come into your life?
I remember my mom buying a secondhand piano when I was about 10 years old for $100, I think, and asking if I wanted to take lessons. And I said sure, and found myself hooked. Joyce Ziegler was my teacher, and I think I took lessons with her up until about college.
Mm-hmm. And then when did playing guitar come into your life?
Oh, probably when I was 13 or 14. I remember being in junior high and wanting to play guitar and getting in the acoustic guitar and then having to have that talk with my dad about the electric guitar.
Ah, yes. And what was your first electric guitar?
I had a Les Paul custom with humbuckers, and it was
That was your first electric guitar?
I shot my entire
Okay, I'm
lifetime
hating you a little bit
savings.
already. I'm just hating you a little bit already.
Yeah, I remember it cost $1,300, and I had my paper route money and everything I had saved went into that guitar. I couldn't play it, but I loved just holding it. I mean, it was a beautiful guitar.
Yeah, because by contrast, I started with like this aria something, and the strings were like this far off, and I was, had to use C clamps to play various chords.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
So that's when you kind of got into doing to playing the guitar. So did you get into a band or anything back in then?
Starting in high school, I was in a band, the Holly Hill Band, I think it was called, based on the name of the street where we rehearsed while we kept waiting for an official name to come that never quite came.
So did you guys do cover tunes, or did you?
Yeah, we did pretty much covers, I think, at that point, and maybe towards the end we worked in a few originals, but I kind of doubt that.
So who did you, during that time, who were you listening to? Who were your influences?
Well, to a large extent, it was my brother's record collection. He was 5 or 6 years my senior and had the record player in his room. And so I heard a lot of Beadles and 60s and 70s music that he was listening to. And when he'd go out, if I had been good, I could go in and listen to some records, and that was a lot of fun.
So would you say probably Beatles were probably the one?
Oh, yeah, big second-hand, second-generation Beatles fan, yeah.
So you were doing the high school band thing and doing cover tunes and so forth. When did actually writing your own songs start to appear?
I would think sometime during high school. I remember getting one of those Tascam 4-track cassette multi-track recorders, a big deal at the time. And I remember spending ridiculous amount of hours multi-tracking little songs that I discovered a DAT tape recording of these several years ago, and it was quite an experience listening to these so-called songs.
What was I thinking back then? Kind of.
Yeah. It's like reading a diary that you find really embarrassing, giggly passages about.
And yet you have to start somewhere.
And yet you start somewhere.
Yes. Yeah. Cool. Well, one of the things we were doing when we were going through the songs to do for the show, One of my favorites has always been Caroline, as you know. So tell me where that song came from for you.
Well, musically, I simply happened to pick up the guitar one day and made a fortuitous error. I strummed a chord with a fingering that I'd never quite done before. I kind of went, now that's interesting. And literally just note by note, I wrote this chord melody, this melody with the chord accompaniment. And then I'm like, wow, well, I've got an intro, now I just need the song that comes with it. And I literally wrote about 12 or 14 different verses with different lyrics. And then I came up with this one that was just twisted in what I thought was a possibly cool or really bad way. And I went up and showed my wife this verse about Caroline, they found a needle laying by your side. They breathed in deeply, but you crossed the line. They sent your body home to me. Because all these had been about the hometown guy that the girl goes away and he keeps hoping she'd come back. And now all of a sudden she's coming back in a box, and I just thought, well, that was kind of fun. And my wife went crazy for it, and she was like, no, that's it. You've got to have that as the last line of the song.
So on the other verses, though, what other kinds of direction was it going?
Oh, I remember going to ones where I try to go to her graduation and try to catch her there, but no one can find her. She's gone off to somewhere else. And I keep doing all these different versions, backstories of remembering little days we had and events, and I'd have to look it up. I'm sure somewhere in my master writer program I've got a whole stack of discarded verses. But once that one was decided as being, okay, this is going to be from the dead chick genre of songwriting, then everything kind of fell in place. And I had some verses that kind of worked with it already. And then it became a matter of deciding, well, how much do you want to foreshadow? How much do you want to keep it a mystery?
Yeah.
And I remember messing with several different attempts at musically what happens in the chorus and in the bridge, and did a lot of rewriting on this one and got a lot of excellent feedback from other songwriters, and that's how it came together.
That's a very cool tune. I love playing this song.
Caroline, them college boys ain't worth a liberty dime. They won't be calling you come summertime, but you could still come home to me. Caroline, every sinner's got an equal right to strike a bargain for a sweeter life, but you'd be better off with me. Caroline, I kept waiting for you, kept praying for the day you'd break away from all the shiny things that blinded you. But now there's nothing I can do except to say goodbye to you, Caroline. Caroline, I'm dressed in black like graduation night. Tassels flip, the caps swung in the sky, and now it's falling back to me. Caroline, I kept waiting for you, Caroline. I kept praying for the day you'd break away from all the shiny things that blinded you. But now there's nothing I can do except to say goodbye to you. dressed herself in henna and sang a winter song to golden summers gone and springs that never come. And now I find Caroline, they found a needle laying by your side. They breathed in deeply, but you crossed the line. Isn't your body home to me? Isn't your body home to